Okay, alright.
I would say myself as a performing artist has changed a lot in the past year, especially due to the pandemic, because everything shut down and I was no longer able to do what I was doing before. I was 100% just a violinist, only playing in like orchestra and chamber music gigs, and then all of a sudden all of that went away. So I had to find out what it meant to be a performing artist without the violin. So I would say now I define myself as a musician first, a violinist second. I started playing when I was 9, and it was just through my elementary school program. And you could pick any instrument you wanted in orchestra or band. And I don't know why I picked the violin. Why do we know what we do when we're 9 years old, you know? But then when I was 15 years old, I decided that I wanted to start taking music lessons, and I was super late to the game because most of my colleagues, they started taking lessons when they were 3 or 6 years old. So I had a lot of catching up to do. I don't know why when I was 15, I just fell in love with music all of a sudden, like more than I had before, and I thought I want to do this for the rest of my life. I didn't question it about like financial stability or anything. I was just like, I'm just doing this for the rest of my life. And so I really dedicated my time to catching up with my peers and being able to audition for music schools. As I work within the entire scope of music, not just violin anymore. I'm also a singer. And I found that even when I was unable to perform live, I was still working within that creative bubble of music. I'll always be a musician, even when I can't play the violin. I've been teaching since I was in high school. I had little students in high school. Not that I was a good teacher back then. You definitely get better as you age. But I would say I've really been teaching for maybe the past 5 years. I have my own private studio, and then I teach largely Black and Latinx communities on the south side of Chicago, which is a really important thing to me because I feel like that's an investment in generational wealth, because those kids will grow up with a special skill, and that means so much. In the classical music world, I've worked with the Civic Orchestra of Chicago, which is through the Chicago Symphony Orchestra, and I've played with the Chineke Orchestra in London, which is a majority Black orchestra in the city. And then I've also played with the Matt Jones Orchestra, which starts to get out of classical music because it's a recording studio orchestra, and we only work with hip hop and R&B artists. I am writing my own music, yes. Don't ask me when that's gonna come out because it's been a learning process. It's a very steep learning curve for me because I'm trying to write everything myself. I want to try my best before I run to a producer to help me out with anything. So I'm trying to learn every aspect of songwriting on my own. And I just recently hit a wall that I just got over, where, and a lot of musicians experience this, they are scared to put their music out because they don't want to be seen as a bad musician, or they don't want to be judged, poorly. And that really held me back for a while because I've never written music before. And I don't want to be, for every good song that's out there, there's a bad song. And I don't want to be one of those people writing bad songs. So I've been holding back on putting any music out. But I just recently got over that, so we'll see. That was a lovely gig. That's one of my favorites. The Tiny Desk really is tiny. And we had recorded on his album, Gumbo Unplugged. And when he was invited to perform on Tiny Desk, he wanted to bring the orchestra with him. So he was either the first or one of the first artists on that show to bring an orchestra and try to squeeze it onto the stage. So it was quite difficult at first because, with string instruments, you have the bow, so you move a lot. And we had to squeeze it in real tight and make it work. Well, right now, people who really inspire me are old jazz singers. So Ella Fitzgerald, Sarah Vaughan, because I've been studying jazz voice for a while now. They really inspire me because they just have really soulful voices and they have that perfect stage presence that I want to, repeat or make my own version of. signing a modeling contract was definitely another result of the pandemic. Last summer, I was super unemployed. I was just sitting around. Nobody knew what was gonna happen. We were all just inside, not going out much. And I saw an ad that 10 Management, which is an agency here in Chicago, they were looking for new faces. I'm just sitting there, nothing better to do. And I thought, you know what, I should just finally go for this. Because from time to time, people say things like, oh, you should model. But I never thought to do it. I was just like way too into like the music scene. I didn't have time to think about modeling. So I sent in some pictures. I literally Googled what kind of pictures should you submit to a modeling agency. And I got to give them so much thanks for seeing any potential in me, because I recently looked at the pictures that I submitted, and that was back when I was cutting my own hair. My hair looked a mess, and I didn't know how to pose or anything like that, but luckily they saw potential. And yeah, now I've been modeling with them for just over a year now. Hi, my name's Alexandria Hill. I'm a musician and a model, and you're watching Profiles.